go, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
What do you think the most uncomfortable truth about women is that's rarely spoken about?
That women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than males. I think the entire human species is a narcissistic species. The whole species is narcissistic. But I believe that the most uncomfortable truth for the average person is that women are actually narcissistic, more narcissistic than males. It's not that males are not narcissistic, it's that women are 1,000 times more narcissistic. I've never heard a saying that, oh, you just have to love your father no matter what he did because that's your only dad, you only get one. I never hear that.
Wait.
I always hear it
Andy.
about
We gotta start this over. Who is this lady? Priscilla, I believe that's who it is. Priscilla White. She's dropping. I want you guys to listen to it all. This is a young lady. She's on the internet. She routinely goes viral. Okay? And she said something that was quite vitriolic in nature. But considering the news, it just writes itself. 1-800-920-1580. Listen to the Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. And I love the way Jill Monroe sets me up. Talking about Big Tigger and his wife. We saw his wife rolling around on the floor, holding the phone and kidnapping babies. All alleged. We don't know. But tonight's topic is it's another bombshell that we have to deal with. Fe-NARCs, female narcs, exposed. The lady said something that was quite quite vitriolic, explosive. She said, women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than men. Is it true? Can we verify? 1-800-920-1580. Let the clip roll again, Andy.
What do you think the most uncomfortable truth about women is that's rarely spoken about?
That women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than males. I think the entire human species is a narcissistic species. The whole species is narcissistic. But I believe that the most uncomfortable truth for the average person is that women are actually narcissistic, more narcissistic than males. It's not that males are not narcissistic, it's that women are 1,000 times more narcissistic. I've never heard a saying that, oh, you just have to love your father no matter what he did because that's your only dad, you only get one. I never hear that. I always hear it about a woman. No matter what a mother did to her children, no matter what, that's your mama. You still need to love your mom, no matter what she did. I hear women say, no matter what a woman does, a man should never put his hands on her. And women believe they can do anything to you and expect that you accept it and still worship the ground they walk on.
I couldn't write it better if I was in Hollywood. Is this not the narrative that we're seeing playing out in the news right now? I didn't know it was going to line up like this. Jill and I don't work together on our topics. I didn't know Jill was going to set it up. The alley-oop is crazy. It's D-Wade to LeBron. It's... Let her cook.
And still worship the ground they walk on. So if anything is going to improve, the truth about the psychology of women has to be revealed. It's a dark place. It's not peaches and cream.
Okay, let's get her out of here. Let's get her out of here. Don't throw the word psychology around, because everything she said about women is not psychologically supported. Oops. Ain't nobody going to cancel Priscilla like they canceled Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? Everything the lady said in that clip is not psychologically supported. It's actually the contrary. Grandiose narcissism, typically found in men. Yikes. The women are 1,000 times more narcissistic lie, and the iron will behind it. This is why I named the show Fe-NARCs. Fe is the periodic table symbol for iron, and it's also the first two letters in the word female. Because women have had to develop an iron will. Oh, Zoe's caping for the women. Here you go. Listen, if women are narcissistic, did we make them that way? Say we beat on their mama, and now their mother is fractured and broken, and transferred the mother womb to you in vitro, or took it out on you when you came out. I'm just asking. I'm talking about world history. This isn't to protect women. This isn't to say women can't be narcissistic. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this lady's claims are unfounded. Women are 1,000 times more narcissistic. The dangerous lie that's poisoning relationships. I'm not saying there aren't toxic, wild women out there. Big Tigger, allegedly married one. I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying toxic women don't exist. I'm not saying narcissistic women don't exist. What I'm saying is this is as reckless as anything Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has ever said. Why isn't anybody coming for her? Because we agree. There's a section of us out there that says, yeah, I like what the sister's saying. A closer examination of the subtle influence of women in intimate manipulation. Do they manipulate us? Did we teach them how to manipulate us? Well, where does manipulation come from if we look at it through the lens of attachment theory? If we're looking at it through the lens of attachment theory, guess where it comes from? When the parent is not attuned to the child's needs. The child learns how to manipulate the parent in order to get what it wants. Through cries, through all types of behaviors. Protests, everything. Now, Priscilla, it's a viral bomb because it's everywhere. Right? It's everywhere. Debunking the women are far more narcissistic claim with zero evidence. You gotta have psychological, empirical, and clinical evidence to be able to say women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than men. Now, here's the caveat. Maybe the tools they use to evaluate, maybe they haven't caught up to woman's narcissistic traits yet. I won't totally banish it, but you can't just throw it out there with nothing to support it. Maybe we haven't caught up yet psychologically to be able to detect there's a vulnerable narcissist. There's, and I have a whole bunch of clinicians that we're going to play tonight that actually talk about women narcissists. Where is the data to support it? We need the data. Sheesh. Anecdotal rage versus hard data. Why the covert female narcissist narrative falls apart clinically. Exonerating women. Do men really want to exonerate women? A man will claim to be a protector and a provider so long as he's getting a little cookie. You take the cookie and the loving and the nurturing off the table. Is he really a protector and a provider? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I got to hear it. I got to hear from you. Am I a simp because we're exonerating women? How social media hype turns normal gender differences into a witch hunt. The lady said women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than men. I believe that there are narcissistic women. I believe that there are psychopathic women. I believe there are sociopathic women. Women are not off the hook for being human and flawed. But if you're going to say it, you got to be able to display it. Sheesh. This is getting interesting. You are swallowing the clip's poison the moment its sentence lands. The soft white underbelly reel fires its provocation. Women are 1,000 times more narcissistic than men. The truth that the rest of us have been too polite to name. That claim is not data. Data is information. Right? What it is actually is ammunition. Current peer-reviewed meta-analysis and large multi-instrument studies show only modest average differences in how certain self-focused or entitled patterns appear across genders, with small effect sizes and overlap so wide that any assertion of dramatic female superiority collapses under its own weight. As of July 2026, the rigorous evidence simply does not support the viral exaggeration. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is my personal belief. Just based off of my limited experience, my limited sample size, that's what limited experience means. I have a very limited sample size. And guess what? I cannot upscale my sample size to be an accurate reflection of the entire population of women. I'm going to say that right now. I can't upscale it. This is my direct experience. In my experience, I believe women are becoming more toxic. I am fully in alignment with Iyanla Vanzant. Women are mean, right? Women are a mess. They need to get it together. Women got mad. Look what women are doing to India Arie. We talked about it yesterday. I'm not saying that women aren't as toxic as men. How about that? I'm not saying that. But if you go out there and you say women are 1,000 times more narcissistic, first off, what is it, 7% of the population that could clinically be diagnosed? According to the DSM-5, that can clinically be locked into the NPD personality disorder. Only 7% of the population. Now, that's a lot of people, though, when you got 300 million people. But the majority of those numbers are men. I just want to see the facts. Ongoing and emerging studies, refined measures of vulnerable expression, more diverse longitudinal samples, and research connecting for clinician and self-report bias could yet demonstrate greater parity or even reverse certain perceived imbalances once methodological blind spots are closed. The possibility exists that improved tools will show women and men are more equally capable of the full spectrum of these traits than current snapshots suggest. I agree with this. I think women are just as narcissistic as men, have the capabilities of becoming narcissists, but I wouldn't say a woman is 1,000 times more narcissistic. What I would say is, and who would argue me this? Women have mastered manipulation. We forced them to. I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm telling you the truth. If you are in an environment with a toxic parent, a controlling parent, you're going to learn how to navigate that environment until you can get away. Did we train women to be this way, men? 1-800-920-50. I know it's triggering. I know it's triggering, brothers. Don't be upset. I'm presenting something to you now. Now, if you call in, I know you're going to call in and be like, man, I had a girl. She jumped through my window and stole my I get it. We all have those toxic experiences. But to make an assertion that sweeping, that widespread, 1,000 times more narcissistic than men, we're going to find out when we continue to pull this layer back. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Turn the dial to where the truth lives. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, City Attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can remember stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of the happy endings, then tucked me in real tight. She turned my nightlight on and kissed my face goodnight. My mind was filled with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd ride the night aside. She never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. She never said that maybe someday he'd say goodbye. The story ends as stories do. Reality steps into view. No longer living life in paradise or fairy tale.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ramani Durvasula, and today's question we're going to try to tackle in this video is, can women be narcissistic? That's the big question because so much of the focus on a lot of what you see online and read about is really sort of bad narcissistic guy and a woman who's suffering. But absolutely, yes, women can be narcissistic. It's a pattern. It's a personality style, and there's no reason it wouldn't happen in a woman as easily as a man. And anyone out there who has a narcissistic mother knows that women can be narcissistic. But there is a difference. Definitely, if I were to sort of spitball, probably 80-20, 80% men, 20% women who are really sort of noticeably narcissistic. And part of the reason for that are differences in socialization. Girls and women are much more socialized for empathy, compassion, kindness, playing nice, sharing feelings, and vulnerability. Men are told that those things are verboten or they're not masculine, and so many times get the message from fathers, even mothers and society, to man up, be strong, which means don't show emotions and that kind of thing. That can be a setup for that. And also, men may also sometimes experience greater senses of insecurity and vulnerability that will ultimately manifest as narcissism. So they get more valued for some of the criteria that hang out with narcissism, like lack of empathy, entitlement, grandiosity. Men are overvalued for more superficial success metrics like financial success, being a leader, sort of that kind of the alphaness of it all. That does tend to get more rewarded in men than in women, also setting a tone for a greater likelihood of it. But all of that said, there is no reason a woman cannot be narcissistic, and many are. So the patterns are going to be absolutely the same. The lack of empathy, the entitlement, the grandiosity, the superficiality, arrogance, problems with managing emotion. The reason this can hurt so much, and again, I imagine some of you had this experience, is women are mothers. You know, if it was a father's an incredibly important parent, but oftentimes the mother is a primary caregiver. So if you have a narcissistic mother, it can be really destabilizing for a child. So that's one example of where narcissism in women can really sort of
Nah, I usually don't disagree with Ramani. And I don't fully disagree with her here. But what I'm starting to see is that maybe Priscilla had a point. I'm starting to swing back the other way. You can't, by default, just say because you're a woman and you were taught and conditioned to be nurturing that you are in fact nurturing. Maybe you're just performing a nurturing pattern because that's what they taught your gender. Just like they taught the male gender to go out and fight and win and conquer and don't look like a punk. There's a lot of punks out there who mastered the anti-punk pattern. You understand what I'm saying? They present as anti-punk but be punk. So maybe I had a sister tell me, the type of man you are, all I got to do is cater to you and care about you, and I could break you. She literally told me this. So maybe Priscilla got a point. Somebody help me. Somebody get in here. Come on. 1-800-920-1580. I'm interested to know what you think. Dr. Romney was cooking. Narcissistic mothers and their effect on children. Listen, just because you're a mother does not mean by default you're somehow more spiritually or emotionally evolved. Your gender doesn't make you that. Your ability to look inward and have compassion for self does. This is where psychology comes in. If you haven't healed, you're just not going to be by default loving. You might be attached, you might yearn, you might desire, but she listed all the things. You might have a difficulty regulating your emotions. You might be anxious, preoccupied, or dismissive, avoid. These are things that show up as a survival kind of, I would say, a survival pattern to protect you from that parent. And it doesn't matter what gender. Oh, man, it's getting crazy in here already. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from the scene of the conversation.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A Washington, D.C. judge says accused January 6th pipe bomber Brian Cole Jr., who is black, is not covered by President Trump's pardons for alleged Capitol rioters. Cole's lawyers argued the clemency should apply to him, but the judge rejected that, saying Cole had not been convicted when the pardon was issued. Los Angeles County will pay $3 million to settle a federal use of force lawsuit. J.C. Houston and Damon Barnes, who are both black, accused sheriff's deputies of excessive force and false arrest after a 2023 incident outside of a Lancaster grocery store. And employees with the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office are under investigation over possible leaks tied to the murder case involving black singer David. NBC LA reports more than a dozen workers are being questioned as investigators look into whether graphic autopsy details were released before the report became public. David is charged with killing teenager Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
As the poet laureate of Harlem, Langston Hughes, once said, I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I, too, am America. KBLA Talk 1580 and the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles
invite you to attend the 18th season finale concert, I Too Sing America, honoring the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, this Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Curated by conductor Charles Dickerson and performed by the largest orchestra of color in the nation, I Too Sing America promises to be a show you won't soon forget. This Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles. Purchase tickets at icyola.org or from the Music Center box office at musiccenter.org.
I too sing America.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. Let's get something straight, shall we? Holding a black elected official accountable is not the same as having a personal beef with them. That distinction matters, and too often it gets blurred, sometimes on purpose, I think. The minute someone raises a real concern about outcomes, about votes, about spending priorities, about broken promises, it gets reframed as an attack, as disrespect, as tearing down our own. We need to stop that, y'all. That framing does a disservice to the very communities these leaders represent. Accountability is not betrayal. Accountability is what elected office requires from everybody, regardless of the seat or who's sitting in it. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you think I have a personal beef with Donald Trump? It ain't personal. It's his anti-black policies. You feel me? So why is it always framed as personal animus when the critique is in black? See, you can miss me with that mess. Black communities have fought too hard and for too long to get representation at the table. That fight doesn't end once someone wins an election and becomes president of the country, or for that matter, the city council. If anything, it raises the stakes. Representation without results is not the goal. Representation that delivers, now that's the goal. So, in the future, when we talk about a policy failure, let's talk about the policy. Let's keep our eyes on the actual record, the votes, the budgets, the promises, the perennially missed deadlines, the outcomes in people's daily lives. Because the moment we start treating accountability as disloyalty, we lose the ability to ask for better from anyone. We must never surrender our agency to be outraged when our leaders underperform. Our communities deserve leaders who welcome scrutiny, not ones who hide behind identity to avoid it. Now, let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know. With the KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I don't care what you talking about, baby. I don't care what you
instead of engaging in constructive conversations and being willing to learn from you. She has to assert her dominance and act intellectually superior by treating you like you're an idiot, like you were born yesterday and couldn't possibly know something that she doesn't know. Along the same lines, a female covert narcissist tends to be confrontational, hostile, antagonistic. It's like she's just itching for a battle when literally nothing is going on.
Who was that, Andy? Lise LeBlanc. So, was Priscilla incorrect? We have a lot of clinicians popping up saying, hey, yeah, women can be narcissistic. They're saying it's I guess a different version? No, same stuff. Entitlement, right? Lack of empathy, right? Self-aggrandizement is yeah. Listen, this conversation today, I refuse to be binary, like men are this, women are that. No. We can all be quite toxic, immoral, aggressive, and disrespectful, right? That exists, that particular conduct exists in individuals of any gender and does not require a clinical label or historical exemption to be confronted. Okay, I think that's important. Do you know why I think there's this movement? Because let me tell you this. I'm probably as hated or as reviled as my brother Samuel, what was my man's? Kevin Samuels. Because people don't like my tone. They don't like that I'm aggressive with the truth. They want me to be Doctor's Cotton delivering napalm truth. I'm not gonna do it. I have to do it the way I've been called to do it. Now, you can take that same level of aggression if you're a Christian and listen to your pastor. Yell, hoot, holler, and preach everything that you agree with. You can listen to anybody hoot and holler about what you agree with. But when it comes to something that strips you psychologically nude, then you like, hey, I don't like him. Nah, because I confront the wounds that you keep trying to hide. Look at what's happening on social media. Everybody's toxic, but who's mastered the victimhood mask more? Oops. 1-800-920-1580. I don't know who I'm triggering right now. Andy, your thoughts?
In your past relationships, have you had to monitor your tone in how you speak with, your partners?
Well, what's interesting about me, I'm an entirely different individual off air. It's almost like, so on the radio, I'm Bishop from Juice. I'm out here wilding. I got the science, I'm dropping it. Off the radio, you might not get a full sentence out of me. But in moments of conflict, sure. So this is why I would suggest NVC. And I suggest this for couples that I coach. NVC, go get it. Nonviolent communication, right? It's a book. And I think it's by Marshall Rosenberg, or I forgot the name. But look it up. NVC, nonviolent communication. In relationships, you already know. If you don't know how to regulate your emotions, you're going to get louder. You're going to get more condescending. The words are going to get sharper because you don't really want to communicate. So I would suggest every couple who struggles with, emotional regulation, get that book and start implementing some of the tools that are within it. Again, I want to normalize this conversation. We heard Dr. Ramani say men are 80. She said more like 80-20 for narcissists in America, right? 80% men, 20% women. But I believe, again, maybe they're missing something about women because of how they're socialized. And she mentioned that. Maybe something is not being recorded or they're not looking for. Maybe it's a blind spot. And again, the deeper investigation asks whether coordinated cultural and institutional emphasis has worked collectively to paint men as the exclusive carriers of these traits while softening or excusing parallel patterns in women. That question is not settled by any single study. It is settled by whether we are willing to examine the data objectively, the incentives, and our own appetite for simple villains with the same unflinching standard we demand of everyone else. The clip that Priscilla, we played it in the beginning. The clip offers a target. Evidence and consistency demands precision. So I would never say, in my opinion, women are more narcissistic than men. I would just say maybe we don't have the tools to be able to accurately record it. And the way that we look at men, maybe that's the reason why we pop up as, because if you study it, it'll say these are the traits of masculinity. So you saying men are by default narcissistic? The sister said, Priscilla, she said, human beings are innately narcissistic. That's what she said. And there's some truth to that. Babies go through a narcissistic, well, it's not really narcissistic. If you study developmental psychology, it's not really narcissistic. The only reality that they have is their own. But they grow out of it eventually. Some don't, depending on the care the quality of care that they get from the primary caregiver. But when the clip claims women are 1,000 times more narcissistic, where in your body does the story of I already know this or finally someone said it first appear? Where does that land in your body? Does it tighten in your chest as men? I knew somebody was going to find out that women were narcissistic. I'm interested. If grandiose traits track modestly higher in men across massive data sets, what part of your identity feels threatened by refusing to weaponize that against women as a class? You hear vulnerable narcissism is more female. Does your chest lift with relief that it's not about me, or does something deeper register the overlap? No study erases. I'm interested to know. Have you experienced a narcissistic woman in relationship, an intimate relationship, or were you raised by one? What ego defense activates first? When evidence shows small effects and huge individual variation instead of the viral binary you expected. If socialization shapes, let me come back to it. Because I'm interested to know why there are so many men out there that are hurt. Let me just say this. I was hurt by a bunch of women. Cheated on, lied to. I did my fair share of cheating and lying too. Come on. But I don't harbor like, I'm going to hate you forever. I just feel like that is what's happening in social media. Right? All you got to do is go in the comment section under the viral video of Big Tigger and his wife. Listen, watch the comments. Locate the exact moment your mind completes the sentence. Women are just more manipulative before the data arrives. I want to know why do men distrust women so much? They say, wait a minute, Zoe, you're going too far. Big Tigger's wife is a perfect example of why you shouldn't trust them. That's what Shaq said. Never tell your feelings. Never share your feelings. Shaq said that, right? He said, why? Because the woman will take him and use him against you. Manipulation. Tonight's topic, Fe-NARCs exposed. The voice of reason is going all the way in. I want to talk to y'all. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is connecting you with services and solutions. Domestic violence and family violence is when someone in an intimate or family relationship tries to gain or maintain power and control over another through a wide range of abusive behaviors. Every single act may amount to abuse. Abuse can take on various forms: psychological and emotional, physical and economic, and sexual abuse. The Genesee Center Incorporated is a nationally recognized nonprofit domestic violence prevention and intervention organization, housing women and children from 30 days up to 2 years through emergency and transitional shelters. The Genesee Center also provides support services like mental health counseling, life skills classes, computer training, job referrals, after-school programs for children, field trips, tutoring, and comprehensive direct legal services. If you need help or you'd like to donate or volunteer, call the Genesee Hotline, 1-800-479-7328. That's 1-800-479-7328, or visit genesee.org. Everyone has the right to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
let you be. What is deep is deeper than steep. So lonely knows this kind of rock gets stronger in time. Won't go wanna know this. So concrete can hold hearts filled righteously. Whatever it is, I know that it's real. Long as you know, no complaints, you're all that I feel. So you must be my soul, sis. Soul, sis. Hey, sis. You must be my soul, sis. Soul, sis. Hey, sis. You must be my soul, sister.
She refuses to respect your boundaries, your personal space. She is quite often emotionally, intellectually, verbally, and can be physically abusive. Number two, she loves for you to be in any type of pain. Number three, she keeps you from your family and friends. Number four, she talks about herself nonstop. Number five, she plays the victim at every opportunity. Number six, she blame shifts. Number seven, she can't take any type of criticism, even if it's loving and constructive. Number eight, she has absolutely no regard for your feelings and lacks empathy for anything in your life. Number nine, she swings between loving you and hating you so she can control you. Number 10, she's incredibly materialistic, both financially and possession-wise.
Who was that, Andy? That was Kenny Weiss. Yeah. Hey. Why is it that most of us are surprised? There are women out here like that. It's easy to say, oh, the man was controlling. The man did this. The man did that. But what that guy, Kenny Weiss, just described is a toxic woman, right? I'm not Kevin Samuels, by the way. But I am pointing out something that is crucial. Do you know nobody is really empathizing with Big Tigger? Like, wow, he had to live with that. He married that. What kind of brokenness in him attracted? But we have that conversation in reverse when it's a woman who is with a bad man. The sisters got the sister circle. They enclasp the sister. They go, nah, we got to heal these wounds because you got to stop attracting this type of man because there's something in you ain't dealt with, but we walking with you, sis. What about Big Tigger? If, in fact, the allegations are not true against him, the allegations against him are not true, how do we rally around? We don't have a society that's built to rally around men who have been traumatized by narcissistic women. Now, 20% of narcissists are women, according to Dr. Romani. She says 80-20, 80% men, 20% women. 7% of the population out of 300 million, narcissists. So 20% of the 7%, come on, let's do the math, are women. And Lord forbid if these women are fine. So was Priscilla White's comments about women being 1,000 times more narcissistic than men purely hyperbolic? Was it purely anecdotal? Or is what she said rooted in some type of psychological underpinning? And why can't we have these types of conversations without somebody saying, who hurt you? Or, you understand? This is a real serious conversation because we never want to put women in a negative light, mainly because we never want to put our mothers in a negative light. So the women we date who may potentially become mothers of our children, we don't want to look at them in that way, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. But the reality of it is there are men out there that are being thrashed by toxic women. Maybe they don't classify as NPD, but toxic nonetheless. Listen, when we come forward, the voice of reason, I'm going to open up the phone lines. And man or woman, if you were raised by a narcissistic parent or you were in a relationship with a narcissistic partner, man or woman, please call in and share your experience. When we come forward, more from the scene of the conversation.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A Washington, D.C. judge says accused January 6th pipe bomber Brian Cole Jr., who is black, is not covered by President Trump's pardons for alleged Capitol rioters. Cole's lawyers argue the clemency should apply to him, but the judge